Okay.
I'm Leah Van Leuven, and my topic is on the threat of media on the family. Think about a time you were talking to someone and you looked over only to discover them staring at their phone or wearing earbuds. It's a frustrating feeling to be blocked out, isn't it? That and other instances like it have happened to me on more than one occasion. And unfortunately, I know I have been on the ignoring side of things as well. In the world we live in today, media and technology are increasingly decelerating individual cognitive and social growth. Current research has even found that youth spend an average of more than 7 hours per day using media, and the vast majority of them have access to a bedroom television, computer, the internet, a video game console, and a cell phone. These rates of media usage take away from time that could be spent developing talents or participating in social interactions. For example, I've gotten on Facebook before, and by the time I got off, I had spent an hour or more doing nothing but browsing the homepage and watching pointless videos that didn't do me any real good. While I could have been spending time serving my mom or getting better at the piano or even talking on the phone to someone I haven't seen in a while. Media can be a good thing, but only if used in the correct manner. The American Academy of Pediatrics, or AAP, has proposed a policy statement expressing the major concern that media has raised in all environments, including school and home. Pediatricians are encouraged to take a regular media history, and parents are encouraged to a family home use plan for all media. This policy is meant to raise awareness of the problems and other potential issues that greater levels of media use cause on individuals. It is based on clear, effective communication between medical practitioners, their child patients, and the children's parents. It also calls for informing school on media risks, as well as effective restrictions on technology and learning environment. The American Academy of Pediatrics is making a federal effort to solve the misuse of media through the time used and access to technology, therefore promoting the welfare and health of individuals, which in turn strengthens families. By informing and educating parents and teachers at a national level, there's a great push towards the power that comes from the home or another influence. It's recognized that the family microsystem plays a significant role in preventing the harmful effects that come from media exposure. Not only is the AAP advocating at a federal level, but they are also striving to work with local governments to promote family action plans and pediatric education on what media does and will do to children and individuals at this rate. Why is there a need for this policy? Media consumption affects all aspects of every dimension of wellness. This includes social, emotional, spiritual, environmental, occupational, intellectual, and physical elements. When individuals view media at high rates, they experience more frequent headaches or strain of eyesight. They also are more susceptible to future health risk behaviors such as excessive caloric intake, physical inactivity, smoking, underage drinking, early sexual initiation, and violent behavior. These are few of many physical elements that are negatively influenced at a singular level. Furthermore, increased amounts of media exposure lead to increased negative self-image and behavioral issues in both men and women. Studies have found violent media to cause 80% disharmony and 78% sociocultural desensitization in youth. Engagement over social networking sites is related to lower levels of family connection. Studies have found the majority of therapists believe that a person could become addicted to cybersex by increased intake of media. It is found that frequent viewers use online sexual activity to deal with stress. There is a palpable cause for action. We need to carry out this policy at an international, national, and state level in order for positive change to occur within our cities, communities, and homes. As an individual, you have complete control over only one thing: your choice. You can't stop the producers from creating violent, inappropriate movies and TV shows. You can't completely shield your children from technology or the things they see when out in public. You can't make media be utilized for only good purposes. But what you can do is teach within the walls of your own home the importance of time with people. You can lead by example by not ignoring others through screens while they're talking to you. You can teach good morals and principles and let your children learn. Let us take this policy into our own hands, into our own homes. By using the knowledge base we have and will continue to receive on the negative effects of a media intake, we can create family plans to decrease the risks and outcomes that come from media. May we cultivate an attitude of doing. You have the power to influence, to bestow your knowledge on those in need. Media need not have power over you. And that is the end.
Oh, that's awesome. Good job.
Yay.
So I guess my question for you, kind of playing devil's advocate, like, how do you think families could use media to their advantage?
To their advantage.
Yeah.
I think I've done some research, just looking at the different research. There's obviously, like I said at the very beginning, there are a lot of bad things, but there's also some good that can come from it. So, and that's important to recognize because we can't completely shut out technology and media. That's just the world we live in. So, making it with the family plans that people create, we can cause the plan can have. I'm trying to say this. We can use in the plan to use it for good, to spend time with each other. I think that's what I'm trying to say, is using, so you, instead of being isolated, I think a lot of times the negative risk behaviors and things like that come from being isolated, not being with people and social interaction with your family or friends. And so maybe, I mean, I'm trying to think of a specific example, but just using it with the family together, whether, even if it's like a movie, watching it together is better than watching it by yourself. Or, you know, you can have restrictions on movies or TV when you're with your parents or your siblings, whereas if you're by yourself in your room, you could really watch anything and no one would know.
Okay. And like how much time do you think is too much time for media usage?
So the average use of media is at 7 hours for an individual. And so, what was your question? How much is too much, or?
Yeah, if you think for children, like, and families, like, what do you think is your cap limit of how much you would want your children to?
I'd say individually, I mean, probably no more than like 1 or 2 hours individually. But with that family plan, you could create like, okay, we'll spend this certain amount of hours. We can allow that much with our family members or with our friends under restricted like limitations.
Awesome.
Any other questions?
I don't think so. You answered them.
Sweet.
All right.
Cool. Okay, well, thank you